Hey, guys, this is not that bad for David Ruderman because he's going to probably come in here and get 4 fresh tires, and he's going to go out, and he's only going to be like 6. So, I mean, this is not going to be a bad deal at all for that 00 car.
Well, they played the strategy right by waiting as long as they did to make that last pit stop when they came in at lap 204, Larry.
Yeah, because right now we only have the 6 cars on the lead lap, so he'll be able to hit pit road because I'm sure he's going to have to come for fuel, and they might as well get tires because I think everyone that's already just pitted, even if you're not a wave around, if you're like probably Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Brad Keselowski, Matt Kenseth, and Kurt Busch, you're going to stay out right here because we're going to be less than 10 laps to go.
Yeah, those guys up front, like Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson, those guys are getting a lot out of their tires. If I was Kyle Busch, I wouldn't change tires because his car's the best when he's got a lot of laps on those tires.
Agreed. You know, and the funny part is, as you look at Stewart and Newman and these guys that have already come down pit road, they get the wave around, they're going to be back in almost the same positions they are because they're a lap there. Yes. I mean, all they're going to do is be put back on the lead lap.
Right.
But track position, they're going to be 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, the same position.
And this restart for the guys on the front row is going to be real important. Kyle Busch can't mess up the restart like he did last time. He's got to get out front.
Chris, David made his stop.
Yeah, just take 2 tires. He said the car has been better when they've just been taking right side rubber, so that was the call.
I do not understand why they did not take 4 tires. The left sides were free because nobody else on the lead lap pitted. I don't understand that call.
And Kurt Busch also going to make a pit stop here.
I think he's looking at it the same way. I'm not going to really lose a position here. He's getting 4 fresh tires.
I think he also had his hands full a little bit more, Larry, than he did earlier in the race. The car looked like it was loose, and I'm sure that they're probably trying to get a little bit more because I think they've lost a handle a little bit from the start to now.
And his teammate Brad Keselowski going to come for 4 tires. Jimmy Johnson also making his way down pit road. That puts driver 18 back on the point. Matt Kenseth right behind him. They didn't pit here, and they'll be up front with less than 10 laps to go when we go green at Kentucky.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing from Kentucky Speedway on TNT is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. By KFC. Today is a KFC day, and today tastes so good. By Coca-Cola. Open a Coke and enjoy the race. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. To see how much you could save, call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO or visit geico.com. And by Toyota.
Sellout crowd at Kentucky Speedway for the first ever Sprint Cup Series race here. Kyle Busch, the race leader. Matt Kenseth restarting second. Those 2 guys did not pit under caution. David Ruderman came down pit road, took right side tires. Jimmy Johnson, Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, and Juan Pablo Montoya, who got the free pass, will restart 7th. All those guys pitted, and there were 23 cars that took the wave around. The first of those, David Reagan, who will restart in the 8th position.
Yeah, I think the 18th's in a good spot right here. I mean, if he can get a good restart, I think that's going to be real important.
There'll be 8 laps to go.
17's been good, but he just really, so far they haven't shown the speed to lead. But boy, it makes a huge difference if you can get out front on these restarts. It's a different race car.
And we've heard Kyle talk about it. We've heard Brad talk about it. You know, my car likes clean air, and this has just been one of those places. And I think as bumpy as it was, we didn't think it was going to be. We knew it was going to be aero. Every track is aero.
Yeah.
But I think we thought it was going to be a lot more handling. But Kyle Busch has hit it. He's been on the bottom of the racetrack all night long.
He's been great all weekend. And here comes Kyle Busch, the race leader. We get the green flag with 8 laps remaining.
Ready. Green flag. Inside 17 only. 22's in your mirror. Inside 17 only. Trying to make it too wide underneath you. Too wide, too wide, too wide. Ooh, clear, 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 clear. Outside, 2 car.
Wow.
Hang
Outside,
Hang on,
17
Matt.
clear, clear. Go get it, bud. Go get it back now. Your tire. That looks good. Go inside. one on the 24, clear by 2, clear by 3, 6 to go, 5 to go. Inside, spin here, stay low, come on, come on, come on. Caution's out here. Great eyes, man.
Caution out for Clint Boyer, who goes into the wall, our 6th of the night. And it happens with 6 laps remaining here at Kentucky.
It just caps off a miserable night for him because he was not having a good time tonight.
No, and obviously it's hard to tell, but I mean, whether somebody got into him or not, but he has had one of the worst nights these guys have had all year, because they had gotten really consistent of being 8th to about 12th or 13th. He's just
got way up high, it looks like.
You see the black marks. You can go back and see the black marks if we can see that again. He just went in, and when he went in, he got up, and the car just began to rotate way early into the corner. Yeah, that's the tail end of it. He had already rotated up out of the groove, up into the gray stuff, and there's just nothing there.
Clint going to take a big hit in the points. Came in 9th and now 12th as you ride on board with Tony Stewart and look back.
10 away.
Oh, his tire came apart.
Wow.
Here's your problem. Let's go back to see that, because that's the carcass.
On the restart there.
If you saw on the 9 car here out of the back of Tony's car, that's the carcass, it looks like, off of the 33 car. The 33 obviously had a flat when he goes off in the corner, and the carcass ends up on the 9 car of Marcos Ambrose. We're not seeing it, but it's already happened at this point in time.
There again, that's a lot of that coming down, not getting tires or getting fuel only, or there's so much trash and debris down on that apron, and it's hard to avoid. You can't hardly even see that stuff when you're down there, especially in a night race.
Number of drivers making pit stops. Clint Boyer obviously to repair the damage. Landon Castle, who received the free pass. There you see Greg Biffle on pit road. Martin Truex Jr. is there. Casey Kane exiting.
And Biffle, I see Biffle made a pit stop, but I don't know what happened to Biffle out before, but I was watching that in the back there. Biffle almost lost it and lost a ton of track position.
So we were riding on board with Tony Stewart. NASCAR fans voted at sprint.com/speed, and they said they wanted to ride shotgun with smoke, and they got to via the Evo Cam. Fuel your inner NASCAR fan with live in-car audio and real-time stats. Available on NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile and the HTC Evo 4G only from Sprint at sprint.com/speed. So here's what we have. 263 of 267 laps complete here in tonight's race. Kyle Busch is your race leader. Jimmy Johnson second. Kurt Busch, David Rudiman, Brad Keselowski the top 5.
I would be worried if I was Kyle Busch with Jimmy being there now. I would try to pinch him. If I'm Kyle Busch, I'm going to try to pinch him as much as I can going down into 1. So he's got to lift, you know what I mean?
Yes.
To make that car push.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson, on the other hand, needs to try to get up there as far as he can going into 1, because this is what it's all about right here, is this restart.
Yeah, this is the proverbial slide move. If Jimmy can drive in and take him up a little bit or something like that.
Or at least get door to door with him.
At least get door to door. But you know what? As free as these guys have talked about their cars being, getting in the corner, it's tough to make yourself drive that deep into the corner, because everybody all night long has said free in, tight in the middle. And when you get that free feel going in and start to push up and turn that wheel, we saw it on the last restart with Matt Kenseth and a couple of those guys. Car breaks loose incredibly quick in the middle of the corner.
But I think that Kyle's got, when he comes down into 1, you just don't want to give the guy on the inside much room on a restart like this with 3 to go.
It's okay on restart on lap 50.
Sure.
Yeah. This is for the marbles. This is for all the gold and all the marbles right here.
Last time Kyle Busch pitted, lap 239. All those behind him coming at lap 256.
And again, these two guys can get into each other and lift, and then you got a guy in the second row that's going to have a run that can take them both on.
Yeah,
I mean, this is going to be pretty cool to see what happens here.
David Ruderman and that team have put themselves in position. It's like Zipadelli said, you've got to put yourself in position in the last part of the race. And Ruderman and 2 or 3 of these guys like Brad and Kenseth and those guys have put themselves. Newman's back up there.
2 laps to go, but this is not a green-white checker. We are still in regulation. Kyle Busch, the race leader, Jimmy Johnson right beside him, trying to muscle up and make it happen. Ryan Newman going low around Brad Keselowski, and there's Johnson on the inside for the race lead.
And Kyle's just got a great run getting off of 2. He's got the momentum right there. But, boy, Jimmy Johnson had a good restart.
And Ryan Newman had a great restart to make it 3 rounds. You see the left front of the 22 sparking going down the backstretch. Here they are 3 wide in the corner here.
Matt is still struggling on these restarts. He goes sliding high. He's going to have a couple guys going underneath him.
1 lap to go. Kyle Busch the race lead. Johnson and Ruderman right in his hip pocket. Kyle Busch has been strong all night long.
This is, as you look back, here's Carl Edwards up here. There's Jeff Gordon right behind these guys. These guys have come from nowhere to be in this race.
And Kyle Busch going to be the first to put his name on the trophy at Kentucky. He leads coming to the checkers.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Yeah, baby. Good job, David Ruderman. Woohoo! Way to go, Dave Rogers.
How about that, Ruderman?
Great job.
Of Kentucky, man. There'll never be an inaugural winner at Kentucky. Great job, Kyle Busch. Great job, guys. Thank you for all your work.
That's a great job by the 18 team. They did a great job tonight. His car, from the time, whether it was hot and slick, whether it was grip, they were the guys to beat all night. Like, even though the 2 car of Brad Keselowski ran up front, these were the guys that had the total package. But you got to give a shout out. There's so many guys.
Yeah, Newman,
from Edwards,
Ruderman,
Newman,
all those
Gordon,
guys.
Stewart, Kane. These
Reagan,
guys fall back.
Yeah.
It's incredible how these guys were so many, a lap down at different times and fall back. It may not have been the most exciting race, but the strategy played out, and in the end, a lot of guys salvaged something out of this.
And on the other end of the spectrum, Kurt Busch fades to 9th at the end. And on the restart, I wouldn't have been surprised to see him get after it and go to victory lane.
I just think Kurt lost the handle on that car about 50, 60, 70 laps ago. And they just didn't have it. Guys like Jeff Gordon lapped down not too long ago. Good finish.
Kyle Busch started at the rear after missing the drivers' meeting Friday night, rallied to the front, won the Truck Series race. Wrecked his primary car in qualifying yesterday for nationwide competition, started at the back in a backup, came to the field to finish 3rd. Tonight he started on the pole, and he gets his 3rd win of the year. It's the 22nd of his career. The inaugural winner here at Kentucky, Kyle Busch. And he took him behind the woodshed tonight. Light him up and enjoy the moment. We're going to victory lane when we return. The post-race show coming up. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.